Welcome to another episode of Mexican the Kitchen. Today I chopped 7 tomatoes, 3 very small onions, around 4 cloves of garlic, and we have the star of the show. I found this beautiful oxtail on one of the Middle East markets. This meat is very similar to the kind of meat you would use to make soups. It has the big chunks of bone, a lot of bone marrow, a lot of flavor, a lot of fat. It has a unique texture and it's gonna give a lot of flavor. I have a pot here on medium fire with some canola oil, and I'm throwing in the vegetables. So the garlic, the onion and the tomato are going in there. And we're gonna cook this until we have some kind of a stew. The tomatoes are gonna let all the water out and this will become kind of like a sauce. A chunky sauce. Now we're gonna season, and we're using some salt, black pepper, some dried parsley, a bit of oregano, and some thyme. We're just gonna let it cook there, and once we get into this point, then we're gonna use this Ancho chili, and usually you would have this as a dry chili and use 5 of them. Just take all the seeds out and throw them in there, but since I cannot find them, I find this powder in some of the bigger supermarkets, and I'm using 1 full teaspoon for every chili I have to use. So in this case I'm gonna use 5 teaspoons of the powder. Now this is optional, but if you can find this chipotle sauce or canned chipotles on this adobo sauce, then using 3 spoons of that gives a really nice flavor. After we have added the chilies, we're gonna mix everything nicely. We're gonna put the lid on our pot and wait maybe for around 10 minutes. After that, our sauce will be very rich, full of flavor. It will smell amazing. And we're just gonna take everything out of the pot, throw it into our blender. Now I have everything on the blender, and I'm gonna blend everything for about 2 minutes because I want everything to blend nicely. I don't want any lumps in there, so I just want to make sure it's completely liquid. And of course it depends on your blender, but I just like to make sure. Here I have a pot on medium high with some canola oil, and I'm gonna place all the oxtail in there. I'm gonna put the fatty parts downwards, so all the fat starts coming off as they cook. We're gonna try to seal them, so we're gonna let them be there for a while, and you will notice that it starts changing colors quite fast. Now this process is very fast. I have been cooking this for maybe 5-10 minutes tops, and you can already see how the meat is starting to change its color. It's starting to look like it's cooked on the outside. Once our tail has reached that point, we're gonna throw our sauce on top of it. And you might think it's not enough, but you have to remember that oxtail will take between 2 and 3 hours to cook. So what I'm gonna do is just cover the whole meat with water, and then we can continue with the seasoning. For that I'm gonna use 5 or 6 cloves, 3 or 4 bay leaves, a dash of cinnamon, and then we can just mix everything together. Make sure you mix everything nicely, everything from the bottom of the pot. And it might look a bit too liquid now, but remember that we're gonna cover it and let it boil for 2.5 hours, maybe 3, and most of that water will go away and we'll end up with a thick sauce. While we're boiling our oxtail, I'm gonna prepare this mix very quick. I have some onions. You can cut it however you like, but I like the onion rings. It has a nice presentation. And I'm also adding these jalapeño chilies. After everything's on the bowl, I'm adding some lime juice on top of it. This is just basically to take some of the strong taste, add some acidity. It will make it really nice to go with our tail and the adobo. Our tail has been boiling for around 2.5 hours now, and I have tasted it. It's soft, so if it's not soft enough, you can wait for another half an hour. or as long as you need. You can see the sauce is thicker now. There's way less water than when we started. This looks amazing. Look at the amazing color. It smells beautiful. And now it's ready to serve. This is how I like to serve it. The onions and chilies on top, next to some rice. The colors are beautiful. It's just an amazing dish. So that's how you make tail. This is a perfect meal. It takes a few hours, but it's definitely worth it. Tail has a really nice texture. It has a lot of grease, a lot of fat. It's very rich meat flavor. The texture is great. And the adobo gives it a very nice, really nice flavor. It's very rich. You can feel all the spices. With the rice it goes so nicely. You could basically eat only the sauce with it because it's amazing. And then these onions give it a really nice extra. Like the lime gives the onion a very nice flavor and it contrasts really nice with the sauce. So try it at home. Hope you like it. Like the video, subscribe, write any comments or questions below, and I'll see you in the next one.